the world together after finding fame as backing vocalists for Wham.
Almost 40 years since Pepsi and Shirley first met, the pop duo are reflecting on their remarkable career in a new book.
Ta-da! But before we chat to them, let's rewind to the 80s.
Wow.
Amazing.
Shirley are here now.
That all day long.
What do you think when you watch those back?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It is like a different life. It's I can't relate to that girl now.
Yeah.
But I feel so grateful that I've experienced it. I mean, it's what everyone wants to have a go of, don't they? A little bit of fame.
Yeah.
Having all that attention and making videos.
And doing it alongside your best friend. You know,
Alongside Mark. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
No, and it's lovely because I guess when it comes to writing the book, to be able to talk to somebody and to have those shared experience, only you two really knew what it was like being Pepsi and Shirley growing up.
Absolutely.
As part of that life.
I mean, the inspiration that came initially were the pictures. So it was about, looking at the pictures, trying to remember where we were, it bringing up certain emotions, jokes. Now that's really...
That's a hairspray moment, yeah.
It's wrong, but so right,
Just
all at the
right.
right time.
Just right.
That's Club Tropicana. That was like what we were made to wear, and we made it work. So
when you decided you were going to do this, because as we said, friends for 40 years, first time you put pen to paper, has one got a better memory than the other? Both of your memories, but
Pepsi's got a better memory, without a doubt.
I've got the better.
The trouble is when you're writing a book like this, you've got to remember what you did.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness I've got loads of photos. So we had how we started it. We had a WhatsApp FaceTime thing, and she's holding pictures up, and I'm going, I don't remember that. Where's that? And then
Because
she's
you were in Hertfordshire and you were in St. Lucia.
Yeah. So we've been writing it from other sides of the world. She's got the sunshine and the beach in the background. I've got the fire on, the rain pouring down. So so really it was Pepsi that reminded me of so many things.
And actually your childhood, because you start right at the beginning kind of your life and you talk about your childhood, and there were lots of differences, but some real similarities also.
Well, that's what bonded us right from the beginning. Me getting in that car to go to my first rehearsal with George and Andrew, it was us talking about a little bit of our growing up, and also the fact that we love Shirley Bassey. And that sort of set the tone. And we did not stop talking, and by the time we got to where George and Andrew were waiting for us, we were the best of friends.
Yes.
And what do you remember of that day, that audition?
I remember that, the boys said we need a new girl to join the band. There's this girl called Pepsi. We all loved the name. We were like, oh, that's such a cool name. Who is this Pepsi? So that, I think, kind of got the job, the name. So they said, would you go and pick her up from Finsbury Park tube station? See how you get on with her. If you're not going to get on with her, it might not work. Because Wham really basically was about friendship, about just making it up as you went along and having fun. What you saw was what it was really. It wasn't manufactured. So we knew that the new girl had to be on our level. And I remember thinking, I hope she's not some real screaming, can't wait to get in the band.
Trying to
and she was absolute opposite, very calm, very cool, sat in the car, put her tape on, because in those days you could only hear music when you got the cassette in the car.
Yeah.
It was like the hub of every time you heard anyone's music. She played me her song, and she sounded like Shirley Bassey. And it was the best compliment I could have given her, because I didn't know she was a Shirley Bassey fan.
Yeah.
So, and then we were like, just the whole way, and that was it. By the time I got to the boys, I'm like, I love her. She's brilliant.
Fun.
She's the one.
She's the one. And then, the tour and travelling and that sort of level of fame that was sort of put upon all of you at that time. But many people may think, well, it must have been all kind of real rock and roll. But the stories of you two being on tour...
That's a disappointment.
Not disappointed, actually, but it was just that you needed those home comforts.
Like we say in the book, our down-to-earthness was our superpower. So while all the sort of craziness was going on, all the parties were going on, not that we didn't take part, we loved all of that, but what actually made us feel whole and complete were those moments when we were in our hotel room, having cups of tea, in our dressing gown and being really girly
Together.
I always remember one of the guys from the band came in, and we used to put our pajamas at the end of the bed. And he was going, "That's the sweetest thing I've ever seen." Everyone's rock and roll, and we put our pajamas on, so ready.
You knew, obviously, before anybody else, you know, sort of public, fans, media, that the Wham days were coming to an end. And was it your idea that, right, okay, well, why don't we just try this ourselves?
Absolutely. Because you kind of think you've been in this huge, one of the biggest bands in the world. It's so successful. It happens so quickly. Where do you go from there? And the only I just looked at Pepsi and thought, hang on, let's us, you know, she loves
I wasn't sure. Will they accept us? Do
persuade her.
they want to see what we're going to do? You know, I was this like R&B soul girl. I wanted to sort of do sort of like real urban-y kind of stuff. And Shirley's like, look, people want to know what we're going to do next. And it actually took quite a bit of persuading, and I'm glad I said yes.
Yeah.
But you know what was great with the 80s? Image was such a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like the sound and the image, and I loved that part. And I just thought, I just love this. You know, we can dress up, Pepsi. It's just going to be an excuse to dress up. So.
And for you, then when you got to that moment, having had the success of that off the back of everything, to get to that point where you went, actually, it's time now, and telling her and having those conversations. I think it was in a bathroom, wasn't it? You
We were at a big party, weren't
We were at George's end of tour party, and with Shirley, you always know when something important's going to happen. Because she loves to have a little chat, but she was quiet, and it was like, Peps, I need to talk to you, and I was like, here it comes, and I knew. Yeah. Shirley was holding it together for a very long time. You know, for very many years she had endometriosis, and I know a lot of women out there will understand that. And it was her opportunity to be a mum. How can I take that away from her? Not that I would, you know. Harley, I had baby in arms, we were in the studio making, you know, Harley needed her mum, needed to be with her mum. So it was, go for it.
You said something which I think is really important. Always ask people twice to see if they're okay.
Yeah, well, that's what Roman was working on, the whole mental health thing. And you know what? That's what's lovely with our friendship. We are so honest with each other, and a lot of people don't have that. And it's really good to be that honest, and always make sure. Like, I know we adore each other so much that I was really worried to tell Pepsi I didn't want to be in Pepsi and Shirley, because I was worried that I'm hurting her.
Yeah.
But then she came back with all that compassion for me. So. Yeah, it's just taking into consideration, isn't it?
It's so lovely to have you here.
It's all in the book.
Yeah.
And we're doing signings, I have to say. Leeds Waterstones and Blue Waterstones. So go on the website.
Events.
Yeah. But we'd love to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's what it looks like. Thank you.